This is the Ford Mustang Mach E GT, but look at this beauty. Now, because I'm in Canada, we technically only have the option for the performance edition of the GT, and this thing is that. This thing is unbelievable. But before we dive into it, I do want to give Yorkdale Ford a huge shout out and a thank you for giving me access to this thing in order to shoot the video for you guys today. Check down in the description below for their contact details, for the build link, and if you're looking for technology walkthroughs, like how to use the Sync 4 media screen, you can find that down below as well, including a VR 360 test drive experience of this car as well. It's phenomenal. But let's do a quick POV look at what's going on with the GT version of this thing, because it's kind of ridiculous. So, starting off with some base exterior styling. If we look along the very front, we've got our forward sensing system, our front-facing camera, and this thing also does have the side view mounted cameras, so we've got a full 360 view. But I love it. This is the cyber orange, so like as we see here, I love it the way I parked it, so we can kind of see it highlighted there with the sun. It looks phenomenal. So dang nice. We'll get to that in a second, but some basics. Look at those wheels. So this is going to be unique to the GT version of the Mach E, but I mean, take a peek. Like, we've got 20-inch tires there, this incredible looking wheel, Brembo performance brakes on top of that, and this thing, the wheel, Pirelli P0 summer rated tires. 20-inch tires, which are incredible, and you'll need the improved braking performance as well as the summer rated tires because of the raw performance. Like, the GT in general has 480 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque. The Performance Edition kicks it up to 634 pound-feet of torque. So this thing is ridiculously powerful. If you're looking for a track-ready Mustang, this is it. Like a Mach E, so an electric, this thing will outperform the regular GT. It's going to leave a lot of vehicles stock in the dust if you decide to take this thing out on the track. And one of the cool things, with this thing being track ready, along the front, we've got this performance splitter, very similar to what we're going to see inside of the regular Mustang GT as well. Helps to create a little bit of added downforce to keep this thing on the ground, because you'll probably need it. So the Mach E has a few different drive modes, which I'll get to in a second. It's got a killer mode though as well, but I love it. Love the base styling. I mentioned there, we've got our forward sensing system, we've got our reverse sensors, so this thing can help out with parallel and perpendicular parking as well, which is fantastic. Charge door along the side there, and as you can see, we've got our little pony with horsepower along the side. We do have our different charge doors there. This thing, it does have a cable that supports either 120 or 240, and then we've got the option of DC supercharging as well. We've got this option so we can select and see how full the battery is as it's charging. Really, really nice. But taking a peek along the driver's side door, we've got this little highlight here. So 5 buttons. We can press the bottom 2 to lock the door. As long as we've got the key fob on us, we can press to unlock. Power folding side view mirrors, but look at this. So good, so good. Looking at some basics along the door, we've got this nice leather top, nice metallic highlight to like this suede lower part of the door. Marries into our seat memory buttons there, so 3 individual buttons. It'll remember our side view mirrors as well as our power adjustable driver's seat. And we've got 3 profiles there. Our base window buttons, windows up and down, our door handle, and we've got this nice stitching that follows all through the dash of the vehicle. Like, look at this. So good, so good. All right, let's get back to the door though. This thing does have an upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system. And then as we move inside, we've got this GT scuff plate there. Looking at the seats, it is going to be a power adjustable driver's seat. So forwards, backwards, up and down. We can adjust our backrest and 2-way lumbar support for this GT specific seat. Look at this. It's like a sport bucket seat. Looks fantastic, feels even better, but we'll get to that one in a second. So on the inside, we do have this like carbon fibery type of weave texture there, down into that suede highlight that we saw along the door. So it's followed all the way throughout. This nice gray stitching there. Some basic controls for our lights, increase, decrease the brightness of the cluster screen, and toggle our traction control on or off. The entire Mach E lineup, it will have a manual adjusting steering wheel. And then we can also pull this, double pull, in order to get into our frunk, so our front trunk. But hopping on the inside here, on hydraulics, up it goes, but along the top of that. So we've got our nice pony badge along the top of the frunk there, and then nothing along the left side at all. Along the right, all we have to worry about just this. So all we have to worry about is just our windshield wiper fluid, obviously outside of the tires and brakes and things like that. And then inside of the frunk, we've got quite a little bit of space here, which is great. There is a little drain plug there as well. So if we're using this for tailgating, we've got it filled up with ice, just auto draining there. We've got a little release on the inside as well, and then a tiny little light, but I love it. Love the base look, the base styling inside of this thing. Really nice. So you can make out that front-facing camera there as well. We've got our LED headlamps there. Charge door looks great. Basic styling there is great. Hopping inside. All right, so you can see those lights going a little bit crazy there. We do have Ford's Blue Cruise system, so hands-free driving. So we've got little cameras that are gonna watch our eyes as we go. So we've got our adaptive cruise control system there, which we can easily toggle on or off. But the Blue Cruise feature is hands-free driving. So we don't need to worry about touching the steering wheel whatsoever. It is so cool that we've got that as an option here. But I mean, look at the base styling of the wheel itself. So nice, we've got our pony along the middle there. That like white stitching follows all the way throughout the wheel along the bottom and the top as well. We've got a nice glossy highlight there. Glossy highlight right along the pony badge. But we are gonna be push button start inside of this thing. Look at the start up there. Animation screen's going crazy. Two different styles, so either a dark or a light style for that screen. We've got our range, speed, what gear we're currently in as well. Base turning stick on the right-hand side as well for our rear, front and rear windshield wipers. And then, look at this. So Sync 4 media screen. It does have factory navigation, which is loading up right now. So while it's doing its thing, let me highlight a few things for you here. All right, here we go. So we've got a series of different drive modes that are available. So our Whisper, Engage, and Unbridled. And then because we're in the GT, so we've also got our Unbridled Extended. So Extended, I love this. So actually, I wonder if you're gonna be able to see it from here. So we've got our little, yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna pull this down so you can read this all. So Unbridled Extended for track use only and not intended for public roads. That is wild. So that's getting rid of the majority of the safety controls inside of this thing. So if you're taking it on the track, just knowing that any of those added systems, traction stability control, things like that, aren't gonna interrupt you on the track, because this thing would be track ready 100%. Looking at the GT Performance Edition, like it is ridiculous. But we do have one pedal driving, ambient light, we've got a propulsion sound, a series of different options for driver assistance. We've got a 360 camera. We can change it out to a front partial view, front 180-degree view, back to that 360. We've got integrated controls there, so it's all digital now for our climate control, which is kind of neat. Actually, let's get rid of that camera. We've got a few different options as well, so we can have this thing going to our windshield face feet. We've got a nice, I love it. I love the base controls here and how nice it looks. Toggle that system on off. We've got our volume rocker that's fully built in here as well, so we can toggle the volume on or off there. Or the audio, I should say, on or off. And then we can easily adjust our volume there. So it is kind of nice. Oh, I got to do something though. Voice command prompt in the steering wheel. When we press that, it'll let us change songs and radio stations using our voice. 97.7 FM.
Tuning to FM 97.7.
Ah, so nice. I love it. We've got a voice command prompt that can let us change songs, radio stations. We can navigate using our voice. We can change the control for the climate using our voice. There's so many things you can do. It's so cool. But audio, look at this. So good. Amazing sound, amazing band, amazing sound. Like, it's an amazing song. Like, this is so good. Like, I'm like stumbling over my words because of how good it is. But upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system inside of this thing. So it sounds phenomenal. Like, very deep bass. We can play around with our audio settings. So many options. Like, we've got a sketch pad inside of this thing. We've got a few games. We've got a digital owner's manual. Support for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as well. But as we start to move down, we do also have, so 2 USB power points, so a USB, USB-C. We've got our wireless charge pad, a few cup holders, and then just to the side here, let me get you a different POV view there. So we've got a little storage tray right underneath as well. So underneath that main tray, extra little storage space there. And hopping down, we've got our shifter dial, so very similar styling to a lot of other Ford vehicles. Our park assist system. So this thing can help us out with parallel and perpendicular parking. So we go active park assist, parallel, perpendicular parking. It'll look on the left, look on the right, and we can control that using the shifter, or using our turn signal there. So we go left, right, etc. four-way blinkers there. We've got this nice GT badge as well. And then lifting this thing up, we do also have a slidable tray and then a 12-volt power point in the inside with a nice amount of storage space there. And moving up overhead. So this thing does feature an auto-dimming rear view mirror. We've got some base cabin control lights, sunglasses holder. We also do have our home link system, so garage door opener at home, we can program that in. Business card holder, vanity mirror with a built-in light. Hello. And from there, another business card holder. And up overhead, this thing also does have the sunroof. But, I mean, the base styling, the overall styling inside of this thing is phenomenal. I love the way that the seats look inside of this, up, down. Oh, looks so good. I absolutely love this thing and the way that it looks. The styling of this pony and the steering wheel is great. So good. And then getting out of the vehicle, we've got our little release there. So nice, so nice. Then getting into the second row. So this is neat. Like, I love this. So we've got our little button there in order to be able to unlock the door. Our handle there. And then when we do it on the passenger side, button press. Now, all of the base styling that's going to be in the first row is carried through to the second for the door. So we've got that same like suede texture along the door there. The seats, phenomenal. Now, a few things. We can easily get into the trunk of the vehicle as well, which we'll get to in a second, but we can also push this button here to fold the seats down. Tons of trunk space. But we've also got our tether point. So if you've got front-facing, rear-facing child seats, we've got our latches, anchors, whatever the case may be. And hopping inside the second row. So this is something I can say that inside of the regular Mustang would not happen. I would not be sitting upright inside of the regular Mustang. But the Mach E, absolutely. So there is a lot of space inside of the second row of this thing, which is phenomenal. I'm 6 feet tall and like my head is just kind of touching. I've got maybe like half an inch roughly of clearance space there. So, I mean, if you are going to be concerned about overhead space and things like that, you could look at the option without the sunroof there, which I mean, it is available as an option, but styling is great. I love this part of the driver's seat. It's a sport seat essentially is what we're looking at there. But we do have our little assist handle, which you will absolutely need if the person who's driving likes to go fast, because this thing, the torque is like mind-blowingly good. But some other highlights for the back here. So just behind the armrest, we do have a few USB power points. So a USB-C and a regular USB, basic fan control there as well. And then we've also got a few cup holders back here. So that's kind of nice and simple. But I still can't get over the space, the styling. I love the look there. That panoramic roof just opens it up and it looks so nice. Oh, did I just lock myself? No, I did not lock myself into the car. I think I did. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I turned the child safety locks on there. Hold on. All right, that should do it, I think. That did not do it. Oh, this is good. Oh no. This is hilarious. I have literally locked myself in the back here. No. There we go. This kid's is so good. This kids is why you make sure that you toggle everything on or off as necessary. So the reason why I was just locked in there is because I had this little button turned on, so that not only it makes it so that people in the back can't adjust the windows, it also locks out the door. So just make sure you've got that one turned off if you've got passengers, or else they're not getting out of the back there. So good. I can't believe I locked myself in the back of the car there. But look at the back end here. So we've got this great looking GT badge. We do also have our backup camera, our rear windshield wiper, sequential LED turn lights there as well. So highlights nicely along the back. We've got that reverse sensing system, and then we also do have a power liftgate. We've got a removable shield along the top there as well, so we can block any cargo that might be in the trunk. These are the thermoplastic rubber trays that are available from the factory. So we've got a nice Mach E badge there, thermoplastic rubber tray for the trunk area, as well as our regular carpet liners. Along the trunk, we do have our little pony badge there and a 12-volt power point. And then underneath this, We do also have our inflator kit as well as our cable, so our charge cable there. So it's a 20-foot cable that's going to come standard from the factory, but I love it. Down they go. So good. So good. It looks so nice. Now, a few highlights about the Mach E GT specifically. This thing is actually only available with the E all-wheel drive system. So rear-wheel drive is not available inside of the GT, but you'll be able to find rear-wheel drive inside of some of the lower trims of the vehicle. But that was a quick look at the Mach E GT Performance Edition. What did you think? Outside of me getting stuck in the back there, I think this thing is phenomenal. Feature-wise, power-wise, incredible. Track-ready electric, like I am very surprised with what this thing can accomplish. But if you want to know how it handles, check down in the description for that 360 VR test drive video. If you're looking for a fuller walk-around, you can find it in the description as well. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your social networks. And until I see you next time, take care.